Please raise your hands for questions.
Okay. Good to see everyone, and I'll start off from an injury standpoint. Individuals that will be out for this game will be Evan Berry, Latrell Williams, and Austin Smith. We got some great news today. Buchanan is going to be available, and Balin has done a really good job at getting himself back ready to go. So we'll see how he looks today in practice and all that. But really like the way he ran around and did some things yesterday in practice. So we're excited to work to get him going. So again, those will be the three individuals that will definitely be out for this football game. The more and more video I watch on UMass, I'm very impressed. They're very, very efficient on offense. I think we all know they can throw the football. They have a very good controlled passing game. I think Ford, the quarterback, is outstanding the way he manages the game, quickness of release. He's an NFL prospect, and it shows. I think they have some really good wideouts. Obviously, the tight end is a very, very talented football player, and then they have a corner that will be one of the fastest corners we play against all year. And so again, defensively, they pose so many issues for you in terms of blitz and some unusual schemes that we have to be prepared for mentally. So I thought we had a good start to the week, but obviously today is critical in the evolution of getting ready for Saturday at 12:01 at Neyland Stadium. So I'll answer any questions y'all may have.
Austin.
Butch, you talked about Todd Kelly on Monday. Do you expect him to apply for a medical red shirt at this point?
We're taking it one step at a time, but Todd and I have spoken a lot, and obviously we would welcome him back with open arms into our football program. He's meant so much to us, not just from on the field and everything he's been able to do, but also off the field as well, and he's been a great representative of Tennessee football.
Blake.
So to clarify, Todd
Did
Kelly.
I just talk with you?
You did, yes. Had a couple more for you. Todd Kelly, he's done for the season then?
As of right now, it's ongoing, with the second opinion and all that. And I don't want to speak too soon before, it could be a bowl game, what have you. So I don't want to speak too early. Like Cortez McDowell, we found out there's a possibility he possibly could return for the latter part of the season or possibly the bowl game.
And one more, you've been in two games so far that have been one possession games, won one, lost one. How much do you think coaching decisions affect the outcome of those one possession close games?
Well, I think there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things that go into it. Obviously, decisions, whether you go for it, whether you play field position, all those, and then execution as well. So I think it's a combination of a lot of different elements. Like we tell our team is, a football game can come down to 2 to 3 plays. Unfortunately, you don't ever know what 2 to 3 plays those are going to be. A season can actually come down to 4 to 6 plays. But again, you never know. And I don't ever believe there's 1 or 2 plays that cost you the football game. I think it's an accumulation of repetitions, whether it's 2 to 3, whether it's 4 to 5, that maybe are key turning points to the game. So again, we always tell our players, you have to play every play like it's a snap or a life of its own. And you have to play it, and you have to have the mentality that this could be the difference between winning and losing. And then you have to snap and clear and play the next play. And there are no reset buttons. It's not Madden. And so you have to take that approach with every single play. And we take that approach with every situation that comes up during the game as well.
David, then Austin.
Butch, can you just clarify how the sledgehammer is awarded, and also just what was your reaction to Trey carrying it to class a couple weeks back?
Well, he needs to go back and earn that sledgehammer. But that's something that's been a tradition here for a very, very long period of time, and it's awarded to the offensive lineman that meets certain criteria out front in the offensive front, and a lot of it is with knockdowns. And I know that Trey was very, very proud to win that, and I did hear that he carried it around, and what happens is his name goes on that sledgehammer, and then he has to bring it in the next week and re-earn it. But that's something that's been going on in Tennessee football program for a number of years. It's been one of our traditions.
Austin.
Coach. On Monday, you mentioned too many missed assignments on the outside. I guess through 3 weeks, what have you liked from that receiver group, and where are some areas they need to improve on?
I really like their attitude and their mentality. I think that drive to get better each and every day. They communicate very well. You know, they come out and they practice and they attack the day, and I can see them progressing, and they're all youngsters. And they're learning through trial and error and understanding what it is to play at an elite level, a high level, and how you prepare yourself throughout the course of a week to prepare at a high level. So there's been so much that has gone into that, but it is a very young room, but a very talented room, and I see a steady pace of confidence being born. I see them, you know, the amount of text messages I receive every day. Coach, I'm bringing it at practice. Coach, I'm going to get better. Here are my goals for the week. Here's my job description for the week. I've really liked the way that group is progressing, but again, we can't let youth be a crutch. Nobody cares about that, and it comes down to really the mental effort and mental intensity, and you can't beat yourself, and it starts with MAs, missed splits, missed assignments, and playing receiver is one of the most difficult positions on the football field. And everyone thinks, oh, you just line up and go out there and you run a route and catch a football, but so much goes into it with your pre-snap checklist and ID in the coverage. You know, is it free access cloud? Is it bump and run? What's my split in the run game? What's my assignment in the run game? What's my split, my assignment in the pass game? Now I got to work a release at the line of scrimmage or a second level release. Now I got to work a 5-step slant or a 12-yard curl. Then I got to win in transition. Oh yeah, then I got to catch the ball, and then I got to turn into a runner after the catch. And there's so many things that go into the development of playing winning football at the receiver position. And it's really the ability to do two or three things at once.
We'll go Vince, then Tyler, then Jesse.
Coach, against Florida, your corners played a lot of off coverage, and Florida threw a lot of those wide receiver screens. UMass does a lot with the short passing game. Well, any changes, or how do you approach that with your corners?
Well, first of all, it starts with the ability to challenge routes. And whether you're in off coverage or press coverage, you have to have the ability to challenge routes. And that's something that we worked very hard on this week. And obviously it comes down to eye discipline. It comes down to your break and drive, and it's really going back and relying on your fundamentals and your details, and that's an area that we have to improve upon. And then your eyes, because you know double moves occur off of that, and you know the ability to read splits of wideouts and read the hips or the hints that they give you, that you really kind of study throughout the course of the week with your game study as well. So there's a lot that goes into it, but that's an area that we have to take tremendous strides from last week to this week. You're right on that.
Coach, Ty Chandler had an impressive run back against Indiana State, but we didn't see him back there in Gainesville. With Evan Berry continuing to be out, what's the plan moving forward against UMass?
Well, first of all, Florida has not had one kick returned against them yet. So we knew going into the game that they had a very talented kicker. I believe they're number one in the country in kickoff coverage because they haven't had to cover a kick. And we knew that he would kick it deep. So there were some things that went into that decision, but again, he's gained valuable repetitions again this week, and you know we have a number of guys that we feel very confident in, you know, and doing some different things in the return game as well.
Jesse.
Which DeAndre Johnson, he suffered, a shoulder stinger against Florida. What's his availability Saturday? And
Right now he's going to be available. He's going to practice today. He practiced a little bit yesterday, and has done a good job in terms of the recovery part of that. I'll know a little bit more right now, but in meeting with our trainers, he's questionable to probable right now.
Matthew Butler was working with the ends yesterday at practice. Is he a guy that you guys want to, whether it's this weekend or moving forward, maybe get some reps at that position just to see what sort of depth you guys have as you guys enter the meat of the schedule?
Absolutely. Again, as we know, being a line of scrimmage league, you can never have enough depth at the defensive line position. And he's an individual that, you know, we spoke about is played sparingly, but what you're going to see probably throughout the course of the year is his repetitions are going to continue to grow and have more of a role on our defense. So the amount of reps that he gets in practice and obviously in the games are going to help him, but moving forward, we need him to get some repetitions.
Patrick, Steve, and Brent.
But you made it clear going into the Indiana State game that Jared Garantano would play. Do you plan to play him on Saturday?
We'd like to, I think he's earned the right to play some. And so again, every game, it's a mentality when you're the number 2 quarterback right now that you're one snap away from playing. And, it takes so much in preparation when you go into the game and you're the number 2 for that game, because you have to have a starter's mindset and you have to be mentally tough and you have to be ready, because the difference is you never know when you're going to have to go into the game. And Jared has worked very, very hard with that, but we need to get him involved in the offense this week, and we would like to be able to have that opportunity to do that. And, Jared's had a very, very good week of preparation, as Quentin, and I've been very proud of the way, Jared has attacked this week.
Steve?
Just wondering, how did y'all go about just setting up this week in terms of moving forward, turning the page after last week? Or anything you said specifically, anything a player said specifically, just in terms of getting last Saturday out of your mind and making sure y'all are focused for this game being kind of sandwiched between Florida and
Yeah,
Georgia?
good question. And I think, first of all, it's a consistency in your approach. And I think that approach with everyone started in the locker room in Gainesville. And you could see the hurt, you could see the disappointment, but you have to move on. This is part of life. It's unfortunate. Like I told you, we're pissed, we're hurt, we suffered every gamut of emotions you can. But you know what? It's time to go. It's go time. And that's what makes football. We live in a week-to-week season. We live in a week-to-week life. Every week is different. And, I think what's challenged in today's world is all the clutter and distractions and what's out there. So when they come to the building, we have to make sure that they're locked in and they're focused, and you have to rely on the leadership of your older players and what they've been, and they've experienced it. And again, it's just part of the growth and maturity of a long football season. And there's natural adversities that occur, and it's unfortunate, and like I said, but you have to move on and you have to forget about it. I liked our approach on Monday. I thought we came, and you have to let it fuel you and motivate you, but also we're playing a good football team that's record is no indication of how good they are. And again, it's respecting your opponent and understand that when you're at Tennessee, it doesn't matter who your opponent is, you're going to get their best effort. And that's part of the maturation and maturity of your football team as well. But I think staying consistent in the messaging, and I believe in our football team. I love our players. We have to get the small details corrected, and that's been ongoing this week. And if you're a competitor, I can't wait for 12:01 in Neyland Stadium on Saturday.
Brent, this will be the last question.
Butch, I heard you on the teleconference about the kickers and your confidence in them. My question is, where do you think their confidence is? And when you're doing the 2 kicker thing, what's the line in making sure you're not kind of yo-yoing them as to whether they're kicking, not kicking, and that type of thing? How do you balance that?
Well, I think it's them trying to have as much clearly defined and well-articulated job descriptions as possible. And we ask everyone else in our football program to compete, and the kickers are no different. And again, it's a body of work throughout the course of August, September, but also through your consistency in practice every single day. And you're earning the trust of your teammates, you're earning the trust of your coaches by the way you produce in practice, which obviously leads to being successful on game day. And I think we have 2 very, very talented kickers. And so, I'll sit down and I'll meet with them at the end of the week, and I'll say, hey, this is kind of what we're thinking, but every time we're getting in scoring range, I want them to have the mentality that they're kicking. And because with negative yardage football plays or big chunk plays, that can change. But I think the competitive aspect has really helped both those individuals.
Thank you.
Thank you.